All right, so this actually kind of shocked me. I thought that of the four teams that were supposedly in on LeBron James, that the 76ers were the least likely team that he would want to join for a variety of reasons. And I've documented those, so like if you want to go back and see some of the videos that talked about LeBron's free agency, like go ahead. But it happened. And I'm sitting here today, we're coming up on 24 hours later, and I understand it only from the vantage point that if you can go to Philadelphia and win a championship and be a guy that has won a championship with four different teams, I definitely think that has some merit. We know that LeBron has nothing else left to do except for chase the ghost of Michael Jordan. I already think he's the greatest of all time. There's a lot of people that think he's the GOAT, but there's still a good handful of people that think Jordan is better. So that's the only thing that you're doing this for. Now, taking $8 million is obviously a discount for the 76ers. And when the 76ers made the trade for Jaylen Brown, I said at the time, I don't know if this works, because I think there are too many mouths to feed between Jaylen Brown, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Edgecombe. I thought that there are too many mouths to feed that. Edgecombe coming into year 2 wants to prove that he's worth a big contract. Maxey trying to prove that he's a superstar. Jaylen Brown having something to prove that Boston should have chosen him, and like that whole thing. And then Joel Embiid, I still think has something to prove. He's won an MVP, but a lot of people are down on Joel Embiid, and so I thought there are too many mouths to feed. But in a weird way, now I feel like this can work. Because I do think that when you add a LeBron James to a team, especially a team that needs some veteran leadership, needs guys to be able to work together. Obviously, in Miami, LeBron was the guy, but you had to figure out how to feed Wade and Bosh. You had some young guys on that team that were wanting to prove that they were worth a contract. And then you had some veteran guys that were trying to see what they could do. Same thing with Cleveland. Kyrie and Kevin Love, you had to make it work. You had to come together and try to figure out how to make it work. And so I do think that of anybody in the league that can come into Philadelphia and say, hey guys, we're going to figure this out. Because right now they have 4 guys that averaged over 20 points a game last year. Now, I know that a lot of this is going to be about like minutes and rotations, and these 4 guys are not going to be on the court all the time together. Like, that's going to be the staggered minute situation. You're going to try to figure out which 2 guys play really well together and then just stick with that grouping when you're talking about a rotation and minutes. So I do think that there is some a hope for this Philadelphia 76ers team. I do want to talk about LeBron for just a second, because I thought this whole time he was going to Cleveland. I thought it was the perfect storybook ending. You go back to Cleveland. I don't know if you're going to win a title in Cleveland, but you might get them to the Eastern Conference Finals. And if everything works out perfectly, you can get them to an NBA Finals. Do I think that Cleveland team could beat Oklahoma City or San Antonio on the other side of the bracket? No, I don't. But I do think that they could potentially have gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then you see what happens there in a 7-game series. I thought that it was just the perfect storybook ending. That you would retire in Cleveland, you'd be done there, and it just kind of seemed like it was all pointing in that direction. He said in his thing that this is my last decision. And I was listening to Bill Simmons, and he still thinks that there's a possibility that he goes to Cleveland. And after these 2 years in Philadelphia, he goes to Cleveland for a year. Okay. Zach Lowe on that podcast was like, no, I'm going to take him at his word that this was his last decision. But I'm kind of with Bill on this, where I do think that there's a possibility he goes back to Cleveland, and I don't think that it's his it is his last decision, because there will be no decision. He's going to Cleveland. No suitors need to be involved. He'll play 2 years in Philly, try to win them a championship, and then he's going to sign with Cleveland for his final season. He already knows what his plan is. I think that is a real possibility that LeBron knows his plan already 2 years from now. This is his last decision, where he's picking between teams, but he'll still end his career, his final year in Cleveland, have the road show. Because here's the thing with this. If LeBron decides that after this season he wants to retire, doesn't it feel odd to have his retirement tour happen when he's on the 76ers? The team that he's not going to be with for very long. It feels weird to me that would be the case. So I think he's going to play 2 years in Philadelphia, and then his last season, he already knows, is going to be his age 45 season. He's going to go to Cleveland. He's going to have his retirement tour thing. I don't know if they're going to be very good. Cleveland will be. I mean, they might be fighting for a playoff spot, but it's not a championship team. I think that's already on the table, and I think that's what's going to happen. What is actually crazy to me is that we are sitting here talking about a 43-year-old. That we're talking. What is actually crazy to me is that we are sitting here talking about a almost 42-year-old man still being such an impact on a team that he's changing championship odds. That everyone now is assuming that the 76ers are going to be the team that beat in the East. And that at 42, last season, he still averaged almost 21 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists while shooting 51% from the field. It is insane to me that that's what we're talking about at nearly 42 years old for LeBron. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. In my eyes, he's the greatest player of all time. Him signing with Philadelphia gives him a legitimate shot at winning a championship. And I think if you're looking at the team right now, they should be the favorites in the Eastern Conference. I know that the Knicks are still there. I know that the Celtics, I think the Celtics with Jason Tatum, Paul George, Mitchell Robinson, Derek White, I think that's still going to be a really good team. Do I think they'll win a title? No, but that's still going to be a team that can compete in the East. We'll see what happens with Detroit. But if you look across the landscape of the Eastern Conference right now, it should be the 76ers at the top. It had a killer starting five. LeBron kind of fits right into this power forward position. He isn't the same athlete that he was years ago, where he can maybe defend some of those faster, bigger guards on the wings. He's probably going to be guarding more statue-like players, where he's kind of just following them around. That's what he's been doing. So he fits right in as a 4 with Embiid at the 5, and then you have Brown, Edgecombe, and Maxey as your guards. This fits. I didn't think it was going to happen. I am genuinely shocked that he chose to go to the 76ers, but I do think it fits. I do think that this is going to be a really good team this year. And if LeBron wins a title for the 76ers, he has won a title with a starving Cavs team, a starving Heat team that hadn't won a playoff series since they won the championship in 2006. He won a title with the Lakers, who had the worst 5-year stretch in franchise history before he got there. And if he gets to the Philadelphia 76ers and they win a title, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to have to reconsider their GOAT argument. If you could win 4 titles, or 5 titles with 4 different teams, that's really impressive. All right, let me know down in the comments below. What did you think about this? Were you as shocked as I was? Where did you think he was going? leave a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.